Okay, everyone, this is Desiree. Hi. We are back with the final video. Again, full tutorial. We're going to go step by step. We're going to work on the cover, the spine, the back, and we are going to start filling in our book with our embellishments. I've clipped them in, and I just want to point out, so I'm using these paper clips now because the edges are up high. With the other ones that I was using, they were scratching into the paper. So always take notice of that so that you're not cutting into what you've put into your book. So what I'm going to do now is just put these pieces in place. I'm only going to be adding our embellishments to the top flap. These are definitely areas that photos could be matted in. All right, and you'll see it is easier to do your pages when they're out of the book. You can manipulate them just a little bit more and work with them because this is, you know, she's sitting up right now. Okay, so let's look here. I'm seeing some others. There we go. Okay, so I'll be able to show those paper clips. All right, so let's start with this one. So I'm going to put a backing on this because I don't want it to be the pattern paper that's coming through. So we're just going to put a small bead. You could just put your glue on each side and maybe make it a mechanism that a picture could be put in to your book. And what's really nice is since we have so much space in between our pages, we can prop these up. And that is what we are going to do. So I'm just going to add my double-sided foam squares, or you could add scrap pieces of cardstock to raise this up off of the book. And that's one of the things that we do in our scrap albums. We can add flowers in between and really have fun with it. And I'm just going to place that there for our next one. And for a lot of our images, I've added a backer piece when it comes to that, to have that color shining through, and then you'll see what I'm looking at. So I'm going to put this down first, and I'm just going to put glue on two sides and get that in place. I'm going to let the paper come out just a little bit around the edges. And for this, I'm going to place that there. And let's see if we can do this correctly. Now these are really awesomely strong foam squares. So you're going to see me put them down and then just look at where else I can put them. I want to be able to cover as much as I can of the area. And you'll see how this pocket works. So even though now you don't have to make these pockets as well, or tucks, what we like to say, but you can see, I'm going to try to grab a scrap piece of cardstock here. We're able to put something in there, and this is lifted because it's got some fine details on that. And we're going to do the same thing with this one. These paper clips I got off of Amazon. This one, instead of a square, I just cut into a triangle. And we're just going to put 3 on this one. Let's see where else I can go with that. I didn't want to take away from all the work that we did. I'm going to line it up with that edge. And then same thing, we're going to just put glue on this edge. And then put that down onto our paper. And again, we have that pocket that can hold a note or whatever we would like. Okay, for this drop down, I got the life preserver around our pelican. I thought that was really cute, so I'm just going to put a little dab of glue here so that that will hold in place. Going to take this and we're going to create a belly band. So I'm just putting glue at the top and the bottom. And I'm going to put this in the center. Just going to eyeball it. And I'm lining it up with the pattern paper. So this piece here. Again, with liquid adhesive, you get time to wiggle that, and you can see it's a tight fit, but it is a belly band. And I'm just going to take our little pelican and prop him up as well. Now I'm going to look because I want the feet to be down to the bottom. You can always cut them as well, your foam squares, to make them fit if you wanted to add more. Just going to line those feet up and place him down. And again, we have that belly band. We're going to create another belly band on this side as well. When I do belly bands, I do like to get the piece in place first, let that settle, the base, and then go ahead and go through with the decoration. And that's a little off. So let's see if we can get that straight. And again, lining up with our pattern paper. So again, we've got that belly band. We're going to prop up our wood, and I can actually go on each side. Keeping that paper in there just to make sure that I'm not going over that edge with the double-sided foam squares. So I do hope you enjoyed this series. And again, I love albums because they slow you down. You can think about your pieces. I'm going to bend this piece back and just put one close to that edge. Here we go. Let's make sure, yep, we're not sticking. And then we're going to place this one up. and put just a couple on our little pelican. Move that around, make sure. And your centers are a lot of fun because you can really have fun with the layout. So this one here, we're going to make a pocket, and I'll go back into this section here. And I just love this large anchor, and it's going to fit completely onto this piece. And we're going to put that just right down onto this because, yeah, not going to worry about all of the double-sided tape. So that's going to sit in here. Again, we are matching that pattern paper, and I'm just going to put glue on 3 sides. You could also make this a belly band if you want, but I thought a pocket would be really cute. Again, just making sure our piece is down. Again, it's a pocket. And then we have a couple of cute, very, very cute little seagulls. Cut down my double-sided foam squares. I'm going to put a dab of glue on the feet since that's just a really small area. I'm going to have him sitting down on that side. Just going to hold that there for a minute. There we go. And I'm going to have him sit on that side and really make sure those feet are glued down as well. So just adding, because that one's already bending just a little bit. So making sure he goes right there. And again, just holding down those feet. Our next one just has it's just an interactive piece. So we're going to prop this up. Give that some stability. That could, just adding a little bit more of the double-sided foam squares. It could be moved a lot because of the opening. I did not add a magnet to that, which I could have, but it's pretty much staying down. See, they're really strong. And I'm just going to put that right in the center. And it's just something that can be opened and closed. And for our last one, same thing. I'm going to add another pocket. And I think I'll add that pocket. I'm going to add it to the outside again. Again, just putting glue on 3 sides, lining it up with the pattern paper. So when you put your glue on the 3 sides, make sure you're not, you know, shifting it around. Get your piece of cardstock in there to make sure. And I think I'm going to put the anchor towards the bottom and then have the compass coming over that, because we have some dimension on the compass. So we're going to put this down first. See, I use my scraps. And we're going to clean up some of that glue. Didn't want to do that. Put that there. And we're going to tuck that in right underneath. And just bring that down just a little bit and make sure she's straight. All right, those pieces are in. I'm going to flip back to this because somewhere in here, there we go, I have these beautiful, and you can see these just get caught on the edge. So that's why I do like these. These are, the ends are up at the top. They're a little smoother and I can push them down more to hold things a little easier. I am not going to put any base pages in here, but what I am going to put are nope, not even going to put double-sided foam squares. These are just so beautifully intricate, and I had so much fun pulling out the colors, choosing what colors. There was so many to choose from. I'm going to put this one down at the bottom. Center her right there. And just hold it in place to make sure those pieces are held. And then this one's going to sit in the corner. I would have put this one on this side, but remember, made a mistake. Again, didn't make sure I was going down in the center. But that's okay, because we can change things. So I just made it an upside down pocket. So we're going to put this right here. And again, make sure you're within your pattern paper, because you don't want to get too close to that fold. And that's tough for me. I like to come off sometimes the pattern paper. To me, it continues it. And again, you want to really make sure that you're down. And they can put a small picture in here for that section. Okay, so all of our pages are decorated. For these straps, I'm not going to decorate each of these. These are photo elements that can be added. I do have to add a strip here to cover the magnet. But I thought what I could do on these, you know what, I think I'm just going to let them go. I'm going to let them be. See, and you just want to make sure that your pieces are glued down, because you can get hooked up onto something. Okay, so what I'm going to work on now is the spine. I want to get the spine done first. And I've got to figure out a way to make sure that this spine can stand up. So I'm gonna put that there. It's my hand sanitizer and a water bottle right here. I just need it there for a second. And I'm going to pull in this net. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this down to the bottom and move that up to the top, because I want this to come across just like that. You could glue it like this. That would look really cool. You know, you could cut off the edges, but I want to wrap this around. So we're gonna put glue on the edges. This is where it's going to get fun, because I don't know if this is gonna work, but I think it will. And I'm just gonna come down, if I can keep a hold of it. And you do want to make sure that you've got a good amount of glue on this, because it is going on the spine. And because we're opening the book, it's going to have some movement to it. Now I may cut this once I get the one piece down, like this. And again, we're just getting that down in place. And then we're going to wrap. Okay. Now, I know people say, no, you shouldn't do that because of the crease. It's going to buckle. And it will. But if this starts fraying, I'm okay with that because it's the rope. So now I'm going to grab my book and I'm going to bend that, set it down, and now I'm going to glue this part. So just continuing to get the glue along this edge. And it is going to overhang, and that's okay because we'll trim that. And now I'm just going to bend her over and press down. Make sure all your pieces, you have contact to the book, and especially around that edge. And start working your book so that you can push these pieces down. And I like to keep my hand there as I'm moving this. And now I'm going to come in with my scissors and just trim that off. And you can see that one little piece just needs some glue on that. And we're going to hold that down. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And that had a little bit of glue, and matter of fact, it's already in place. So again, I'm going to keep my hands at the spine. Just make sure I push that down. Add glue where I see it doesn't have any. It's okay if you pick it up. It's going to go back down. Come in on these edges. And you want to put glue on the piece, not the book, because you're not quite sure where that might hit. all that, and we're going to trim. Woo! That would have been horrible. All right. Just keep pressing her down, and now I'm going to open this and let's see what happens. Still feels good. I'm pushing down. Still feels good. Pushing that down too. Okay. So next on the spine, again, I'm going to put my props here, is I had made this message in a bottle, and I'm just going to put that on there using some double-sided foam squares, and I'm going to use a little more than what I have. It's going on the spine. It's where we grab. Make sure that's not, okay, it's not seen. And just gonna load this up. And with all of this double-sided tape, that's going to very much help get or keep that rope on there. Now, the beauty of a scrapbook album as well, I mean, you can put, you know, a real piece of material there, anything. There's no end. I'm gonna lay this down. Please tell me my book was in the, okay. Always make sure your book is in the right position. And I'm just really pressing that down to make sure that it's in place. So that is our spine. I'm gonna work on the back next. The front, there's some more things that I want to do to the piece that I have. So just again, making sure we're at the back. Here, I have that beautiful beach fence, and I'm going to darken this up because I'm actually going to add, wrong brush, I think I want to add some black soot. Or let's see here. Yeah, I want to add some charcoal. Woody. Let's add woody. There we go. Just so that it'll stand out, add more color. Wasn't thinking when I was doing this. I'm just gonna lightly come over this. See how that looks? Yes, love it. Just going around those edges. Okay. Let me get this brush clean because of course I used the wrong color, but that's okay. There's probably going to be a lot of black on there. Okay, so there is our fence. I'm going to put this towards the left. Going to put, though, I'm going to get my glue on this. And I'm going to make this as flush as I can. We're not going to prop any pieces up to the back. The recipient may put it on a shelf. And I want to put this here. Yes. Grab my glue again. And we're going to take it right out to the edges. I don't want those to get caught. And again, these are the things that, you know, you kind of think about. How's the recipient going to use it? What type of album is it? And we're going to put that right towards the bottom. And I'm just lining it up. I'm okay if the glue's going all over, that means I've got it there, but I do want to make sure these edges are all stuck down, and I'm going to lift this one up. Okay, now we're going to put our fence down, and I'm going to line that base right along where the grass is. And it's going to have some dimension because it's going over. And then I'm going to put this right here. Again, not coming off the edge. It's very difficult for me not to, but making sure that I've got glue on each of those tips. I can clean off the excess. All right. And again, lining it up with the base and then pushing down. And if anything is sticking out, like that one small one, oh, maybe we can just wrap it around. Nope, we're going to trim it. Find those small scissors. And just cut it on an angle. No one will ever know. And we're going to add just a few shells. Now I want to add some vintage photo. I know you all were wondering when that was coming in. Just going to go around the edge. And not too heavy, just lightly. And then we will glue these down as well. So I tend to make sure I have more glue going on around the base, just to make sure that they are secured. This it's opening, it's closing, it's doing all those fun things. I'm gonna lift that up and then just press down. So that is our back. I'll save these. All right. Again, just really make sure these leaves are down. Put your hand over it. They just bend. It's okay. And now we're going to go to the front. Now I'm going to set this aside real quick, and I'm going to pull in the pieces that I'm looking for here. So these are the pieces that we're going to use for this. Now on this, I already have my double-sided tape sitting on there, or double-sided foam squares. And I'm going to put one there right at the top. And I'm going to come in with some vintage photo first. Now this is coffee dyed paper, so it's very weak. So if you just go around carefully, you will be able to add your color. Now all of this will not sit onto our piece. And I know I'm going to make people cringe because I'm bringing in a piece of cardstock. Sorry. But just hold down those edges and you can really ink them up. It's okay if they bend up. It's a treasure map. Let's have some fun with it. And here I'm going to take another piece and just angle it. So I can get around that edge, and then I'm going to do the same over here to get around those. Now it just gave it some dimension. Okay, I'm going to pull in this awesomely gorgeous stamp. I see so many journals in the future for this. And I'm going to keep it on this backing piece, and I'm going to come in with some archival ink in potting soil. And I'm just going to pick some pieces. Now, remember, your archival ink will stain. I'm not looking for a perfect impression. I almost put it on upside down. Going to go on an angle. I want to make sure that is there. And I don't, yeah, you saw that. Yep, you saw it. Because remember, this is not okay. Let's try something else. I think that pad is very dry. Let's come in with our oxide. And yep, we're going to try to line this up. Fingers crossed. We're good. I'm happy with it. And we're going to add, or I want to add just a little bit of blue to this. So I'm going to protect that. This is just going to give it some color. I'm not worried about blending. And get some along here. Have fun with your pieces. Okay. So that's what I wanted to do with this. We are going to bring back our ink and go around this just to take away that white around the edges. And I'm going to come in with a soft makeup brush. This is one that I actually found in the house. I had so many of them, my goodness. And I'm just going to lightly brush over the entire image. And what that does, it doesn't leave a mark, but it dulls that piece. So you can look at this one here, and if I grab the white and red here, you can see just how much it's just a touch, but it's just enough. All right, and I also want to do that with the front sentiment that I'm putting on this. Again, just dabbing in, and then I'm just going to brush over it. It doesn't leave any marks, which is awesome. Let's get these out of the way. I do keep these holders for my brushes when it comes to my oxides. I don't know why. Okay, I think I am going to go around this piece as well, if I can find it, with some black soot. I really want that to stand out. And you can see just by adding that black, just ages it even more. Not being particular, just having fun with it. And again, we're going to come in with that other piece just to tuck that up in there so I can come up in on that edge. All right, so that is what our awesome map looks like. So we're going to bring our book back in. And I want this to come in on an angle, because this is going to sit here down in the corner. And what's awesome is a lot of this is going to be seen, which is perfect. So I'm just going to come in with the ink that I have left. Here we go. Sorry, shaking the... I know, the whole time I was shaking the camera. I really apologize for that. So now I'm going to remove my double-sided foam squares carefully. Again, I love coffee dyed paper, or you can do tea dyed. I just go with coffee because that's what I drink. If I'm drinking tea, my husband moves out of the house because he knows I am sick. It's the only time I drink tea. I am going to grab my glue and now put glue coming down here. And we are just going to crank this up so that I can get this in place, because once it goes down, she's down. All right, and we're going to take this and we are going to tear it. Yep, tear. You gotta love tearing paper. And I'm just gonna come in with the vintage photo on the edge and a little bit of that black. All right, we are almost at the end. And again, we're going to add our double-sided foam squares so that this can be propped up. always make sure when you're putting your double-sided foam squares on that they are very well connected on this one side. You don't want to be pushing it. All right, so now I'm going to put that there, and look at that, we're covering up the double. Yay! So I'm just going to set that just like that. And we're going to glue this directly on. That up, make sure that's somewhat straight. Could also put it across there, that would have been pretty. Let me find my pin again. Want to make sure, got to keep the pin in there, and let me get these out of the way. I'm slamming things down again. Okay. And here it is. Now, so much more embellishments could be done when it comes to this. But again, basics when it comes to your album. But have fun with it. I mean, really have fun. You can take some of those shells and weave them through this. All right, so let's do the flip through. Okay, so here's our front. We used, and I'm going to go through the products that I used. Again, I'm just going to link to the collection down below that that she just recently released, set sale. But I know this stamp set, excuse me, is from her Guiding Light stamp set. We used the map die. I'm not going to be able to say all the names, but I used her rope slimline, the message in a bottle that's on our spine, and again we took our rope slimline cover, and you can see I have no problems opening and closing this on both sides, so we're good. And then on the back I added elements for the beach scene and some shells from the shell frame. So that's our outer portion. When we open our book, we have a waterfall here. I'm going to do something here and put something on the other side where we have 4 flips, but that gives you 8 spots, 9 actually, to add photos. We have an upward movement flip where 2 photos you can journal on the solid cardstock. Always leave journaling spaces. Now this is left open, so you can make this a pocket as well in between, so you can have pullouts with tabs. Here we have a pocket where you can put things, and we have that beautiful pirate ship. And again, when we lift this up, you can journal and then put your photos down on the pattern paper. We have another pocket over here with a beautiful sailboat. Didn't realize I put that on the sailboats. And again, journal towards the top, photo to the bottom, or you can flip it, whichever you would like. We're at our center, and we have our 2 gorgeous little pelicans. One's got a life preserver, and the other one is on the pillars. And then when we open this up, journal, or photo, and then you can put your photo in here. It's nice and glittery. Here was where the mistake I made, where I did not put it in the center where the pocket was actually created, the loop. So I created a pocket that just goes up, and you can see it's not going to come out. It's a tight pocket, so you can put something up in there. This is your belly band. And this is a belly band. They are nice and tight. And again, okay, the flip, it won't go anywhere. Okay. Here we have a side pocket with our couple little seagulls hanging out there on the anchor. Here's just an interactive piece to have some fun. And again, both are flipping up. You can make these flip down if you want. Just change the position, journal, photo, or vice versa. And then again, we have another pocket here to put our items, and another waterfall, the same thing. Lots of photo space, lots of journaling space, and again, gotta put cardstock on that and cover up the other side. So that is, and I do have something hanging up here, and I just have to figure that out, but that's okay, we'll fix that. And that is our scrapbook album featuring the Set Sail collection from Scrappy Tails. So I know these videos were long. Nobody has to tell me they were long. Nobody has to say that I was gabbing. I get it. But to me, I think that works best when we're doing an album or we're doing a journal. So lots of steps. You're watching it each time. You can skip through the videos if you don't want to see me coloring the pieces. That's a separate video. If you don't want to see me putting the die cuts together because they're with music, not talking through them too much, that's fine. You can just get to this point and you can pick and choose which videos you would want to watch. I hope this is the ones that you can see Sabrina's collection just truly come to life in a different way. I love this as the spine. Just truly come to life a different way. I have no idea how I'm going to photo this Sabrina, but I'll figure it out. But as always, I really do hope you enjoyed this. You will be seeing more of these ideas coming through. As I said, I will just have the link to the collection down below. I used every piece of the collection except I think the steering wheel, the stencil, and there was something else that I didn't use. So there was like 3 pieces. I almost went through the entire, and of course I can't find it here, the entire paper pad that came with her mega kit. Beautiful papers, great to work with, and they really add a lot to the album. And if you have any questions, make sure you leave those down below. And enjoy your art. Have fun with paper. Have fun with the process. Enjoy that process. This will slow you down. This is not a quick process. Map it out. Say, okay, I have this idea. What's this going to look like? And that's the beauty of this. And you have a most beautiful keepsake to gift to somebody, or if you want to make them for other reasons, you have that ability. But please enjoy the art. If you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe, hit that thumbs up, make sure you hit the notification so that you know when the next video available. But it's always, and it will always still be, the most important thing for me, guys. Always be creative. And I will talk to you in the next one. Till then.